Hello, we are Sornia. As always, thank you for your devotion, your desire to be of service, your desire to better yourselves in this human form, in all that you're doing, both for yourselves and for humanity, for all the creatures on your planet. We see that things are moving underneath, is what we're talking about. Underneath, we see that things are moving in the direction that is necessary for the expansion that your planet and all the beings on your planet are destined for this time period. There's so much we can share with you, and we try to keep it in a way that's uplifting and inspiring, but also to give you enough information to know the course of events, in which way they're going. But we want to remind you that yes, there is this great awakening. And yes, there are many who are understanding their true nature. And yes, there's much to anticipate that will be wonderful, that will be coming towards all of you. But there is much that you must go through with all of humanity, with all of the creatures on your planet, with all of nature, with Mother Earth herself. You are doing this together. You are not doing it separate. We want to talk a little bit about these things so that you understand that not everything can be seen immediately. We don't know where things are going exactly. We know the great plan. You know the great plan. It is why you have taken on your human role, each of you. But we don't know how quickly, we don't know how exactly it will all unfold, because you see, you are all doing that. We've talked to you about this before, but we're here to reiterate that for the very reason that, once again, we are seeing those of you who have awakened to the truth of this time period, of the significance, the importance, the seriousness of this time period, have been asking, well, how soon? When will we? Blah, 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 and so forth. Patience is definitely valuable at this time. But more than anything is to understand that you have a very importance, if you will. We don't like that word, but you have a reason that you chose for being in human form at this time. You have a role to play out, if you will. Remind yourselves of that. Keep working on you and understanding your true nature, in bringing forth that wisdom, bringing forth that truth, bringing forth that love, bringing forth that compassion through you. Be the conduits that you promised that you would be in human form to help all of humanity. All of humanity. We must stress that, because we see some of you faltering and becoming judgmental and becoming fearful and feeling less strong in your ability to face adversity, and the adversity that is more than likely coming your way. So we are here once again, yes, to give you a pep talk, to encourage you, but to remind you that you would not be where you are at, doing what you're doing, and this time frame, in this timeline, if you were not capable, and if you had not chosen to do it. So the most important aspect of everything in this current phase that you are in of expansion and enlightenment is to continue to go within, look at who you are, and remove judgment from all situations and be an observer. Be compassionate. We use these words, but do you know what that means? And that's what we've come here to talk to you about, is the energy of your true nature. What that means expressing through you as conduit for divine light and love. For you to truly understand that. Because without you, each one of you, fulfilling your purpose, you could say, for being in human form, the events that occur, or the ultimate goal of reaching enlightenment for the majority of humanity and releasing them and freeing them from their entangled existence and their limiting beliefs, becomes harder for all of us to reach. We also understand that many of you get discouraged. You've just come from a very difficult time period. We talked about this the last time we were here with you. It was very difficult, but you came through it. It is now really subsiding. You should be feeling lighter. Some will be feeling lighter. Some may still be dealing with it, but the end result of this time period should be a greater understanding of your true nature. You should be able to look out into the world and observe the world from a higher vibration, because that's what we're seeing. And if you feel that you're not, we would encourage you to really ask for that guidance. Really take the time to go within and ask for the guidance so that you can see the progress, if you will, that is being made, because it is there. The difficulty at this time is that there's so much that's being exposed that it is not of your true nature. There's so much that is coming up, if you will, that is of a false or of the illusion, things that are not of your true nature. There's so much of it, the more that's unearthed, it seems like it's never ending. It's just showing you the depth and the extension of the limiting beliefs and the system that has been created by all of you, along with the forces that want to keep you entrapped, that have kept you entrapped. So you're working, we dislike that term, but for lack of a better one, you are all focusing on yourselves and paying attention to what it is you need to pay attention to, but you are also falling into judgment. We're seeing that. We're not here to scold. We're not here to say, oh, stop judging. You do what you feel you need to do. But we would ask you to step back a moment and understand what is that judgment about. Or some of you are actually believing the fear lies that are present, or starting to go, wait a minute, you're doubting your conviction to this greater good. You can call this tests, you can call them temptations, you can call them what you will, but they are distractions. If you continue to look outwardly at what is occurring in your own communities, in your own world, and use that as a measure for how well things are progressing, and then consequently a measure of how you feel, or maybe measure isn't the correct word, but a gauge, it affects how you feel, right? If you use that externally, and this is what we are saying, that's why we are talking about judgment here. If you find yourselves being, let's say, use your language of being sucked into these things, be very aware. Where is it you want to place your attention? Because the powers of manifestation at this time are amplified like they have never been before. That's what you are unveiling here. And in the process of understanding your role as an eternal being in human form, you're helping to remove the veils and the walls and the limiting beliefs around your ability to be all powerful manifestors and creators of your own reality, and understanding that. That's the ultimate goal here. That ultimate goal of understanding how you are creative beings, that you are sovereign beings, that you are all powerful beings, and using the human form to manifest and create, that you are not limited by the human form, that the human form is actually an asset, and you are expanding that human form. This is the ultimate goal of this time period, because when you understand that, each one of you understand that with every fiber of your being, there's nothing to judge, there's nothing to fear, there's only creation, manifestation of all that you desire and all that you wish to experience. You're doing that now because you're always manifesting, you're always creating, but you will be doing it in a way that's intentional. You will have a conscious awareness of how you are manifesting and how you are creating your reality. That is the key here. So, monitoring your own business, let's say, removing judgment, is key to you being able to see through that veil of illusion, because it's still there. Because once you see through the veil of illusion, it has no power over you. We can't do that for you. Each of you must do it on your own, and this isn't the first time we've told you this. We're coming forth to remind you of these things, because you are about to enter another very difficult time period. It is being, how should we say, this is part of what you've had prophesized. It has to happen this way. It has to be brought out and exposed. All of what is been created through many thousands of years, this limiting view, these limitations that you've taken on, these limiting beliefs, that has to all come forward. But it's up to you to see the falsehood. See it not with your eyes, because the eyes are just a tool that you use. It's to see it with that inner judgment, with the eternal you that we talk about all the time. So to see it from that place, and to see it from that high vibration, that consciousness that is God's consciousness, that is the Christ within each of you, to see it from there, it makes the explanations become evident, and you know what your next steps will be. You'll know what it is that you're doing. You will have certainty about it. Because when you face difficulties, when you face adversity, when you are faced with troubled times, each one of you will benefit yourselves and the community in which you live by holding to those truths. Now is the time for you to ground yourselves in that, because no matter what comes at you, in whatever form it comes at you that is of negativity or darkness or lower vibration, whatever it is, cannot stop you, cannot harm you, cannot do any of that if you are really firm in knowing the truth of who you really are. So now is that time to continue to do that. Ask to be shown, because the energies are such to support you at this time. Those of you feeling lighter after this dense period of time must know that your awareness is sharper. It's more acute. You're seeing things differently because you've just come through such a difficult, dense time. So be in that place of always pulling yourselves back, being aware of how you are allowing yourselves to still be manipulated by outside forces. And we're talking about the judgment and all of that. And learn to understand, this is something really important here, understand the energy of forgiveness. Now, we don't want you to focus on the word. So forgiveness, to forgive, forgiveness. When you have a word in your language, each of you has a response to that. Understand this language. So when you hear us use the word forgiveness and to forgive, first, before you say, oh yes, that's a good thing. Yes, Sornia, let's forgive, let's forgive. We want you to stop and go, this is what we would like for you to ponder in the coming days and weeks. How do I understand forgiveness? That's your first step. Don't begin, oh, I can forgive, I can do this, I can do that. You're all capable of forgiveness, but ask yourselves how you have a limiting, well, you don't even have to say limiting. What are your beliefs? How do you understand forgiveness? What does it mean? And see what comes up for you. Just understand it from that place of, you might get feelings, you might get images, you might just get words. This is what forgiveness is. This is what forgiveness is. And write these things down. Then once you have an understanding in the human sense of where you are at now, what forgiveness means for you now, then we want you to take that into your meditation, into your quiet times, into your walks, or however you connect with the divine. And take them and say, okay, now I really want to understand forgiveness. I want to understand the energy of forgiveness. What does it mean to forgive? What does it mean to be forgiving? How do I do that? Because every one of you that gets this message, and everyone on the planet, everyone is at this time wanting to know what it means to truly forgive. Because there will be down the road, when more is exposed about how you have been manipulated and played and controlled and fooled and duped, that many more will start to awaken. You who have done this have dedicated, let's say, your attention and focus on understanding how to forgive. What does it feel like to be in a place of forgiveness? That you radiate that energy. You are forgiveness. You are that energy. Because there aren't words in your language that can truly express the energy that is forgiveness. But we want you to understand it so that when more individuals, which is what we believe will be happening, at least that's what it looks like right now, begin to feel anger and begin to suffer the consequences of different experiences on your planet, you will be able to help them rise above it through forgiveness. But not the forgiveness in the human sense that you understand it now. It's so much more. But you must be it. And that's what we have come here to share with you. First, understand how you understand it in the human sense. Then take it into your quiet place. And do this until you feel you have truly connected with that energy, because it is all around you and it comes through you. It's in you. Your capability to do everything we suggest that you do resides within you. You are the ones that volunteered to be present in this earthly reality because you said, we will go forth and do this experience so that we can be those conduits for love, wisdom, forgiveness, all of that. We will ground that energy so solid into everything on the planet, every being, everything on the planet, that it is its essence. That is what you are doing. Your roles are vitally important. Again, we understand the fatigue and the desire to kind of say, when's it going to end? We don't know when it's going to end. We don't know these things because it depends every moment on how much you are able to transmute those energies, which you have done in an incredible way. And we encourage you to keep on doing that, each in your own little way. You don't have to be out there with the whole world looking at you. In fact, those that are doing some of the most profound and long-lasting, having the most long-lasting effects are those that are seemingly quiet areas, that are just quietly going about their day. Those are the ones, because there are many, many, many of you, and you are grounding that energy of the divine, of God, of Creator, of Source into earth through the Christ consciousness that is in you and in every being on your planet. Yes, the animals. You say, no, that's not possible. Oh, yes, it is. They are in an evolutionary cycle. We have spoken to you of this. Understand that. Understand who you really are so that nothing can deter you from expressing that and being that. That is how you are going to go through difficulties that are sure to come. We're not saying, warning you, oh, go and hide and be afraid. We're telling you that the difficulties, you're already experiencing them. You will continue to experience them because they must be exposed. It's the nature of that reality still. It's changing, but it's the nature of that reality. So continue to know that there is incredible progress being made. That's why we come forth with these messages, not to discourage you, anything but. Couldn't be done without each one of you doing what you are doing. But watch that judgment. Watch your readiness to fall into a place of fear and questioning, doubting. Easy to do at this time. Just watch that and see, is that true? Is it really true? And ask. We're here to help you, to guide you. We're in this together, all of us. You are not separate. We are not separate from you. You are not separate from us. None of us are separate from Source, God, Creator. We are all one. And you are an expression of that. And you know that. But know it so well that nothing can cause you to deny it or fear something that could come to stop you from being that light and that beacon for others. We hope this helped you. As always, we love you very much. There are many, many, many more that have joined our already large, expanding group here. Continue to question, ask us. We will come forward to give you what we can. We hope this has helped you because we care very deeply about everything that you are going through. We are with you. We are one. We are together going through this. We love you very much. That is all. We are Sornia. Goodbye.